Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. This one's going to take you what I learned in Costa Rica and really truly just becoming unfuckwithable. Like, this is a vibe, okay? But on that note, actually, my newest program is now out to be purchased, Unfuckwithable. If you are ready to master the inner game, to walk with your fears, alchemize shame and insecurities into unapologetic expression and unstoppable confidence, unify your connection to source, heal, align, and balance the divine masculine, feminine energies that will create more harmony and overflow within your life and business, this is where it's at. I truly believe that in order to be a great business owner, to have a successful business, to have a successful life with ease and sustainability, it's not about all the tactics. It's going to come from the energetic and emotional game. We play 3 games in this, and I'm going to talk about all of this in this episode. This episode is so juicy. You're definitely probably going to want to take some notes. I think this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this course or in this program. It's going to be so good. Right now, it's at 333 for all you podcast listeners. If you want it at 333, come either DM us or send us an email or something of that nature, because right now online it's at early bird at 444. But since you're my favorite podcast listeners, and I love you guys so much, and if you're not on the wait list already, we will get you that cheeky deal to get it $100 off, because right now, yes, it is online for 444. It's going to go up to, I'm thinking, anywhere from $1,111. So you're going to be saving a fuck ton of money for this program. This is a bravery program. This is about how we lead with bravery in life and business, and this is really how it's going to make you the next level leader, so that you know what path you're always going to take. You're always going to have the understanding of where it is that you're going to want to go in your business, and I love this. So there's that. And then I also have a couple more slots for my VIP one-on-ones. I am so dying for 2 people out there. Now, you know who you are. You've been listening for a while. I know that if you're feeling like, oh, this feels awesome, it feels exciting, and you want either a 3-month or a 6-month, honestly, I love long-term. The more we can get to know each other, life, me, you, business, and the universe, like, it's like, I love it. This is for all of my entrepreneurs ready to go 6 figures and beyond, ready to create some passive income, whether that be opening up a shop, becoming a mentor, becoming an educator, ready to create team, ready to just take their business to the next fucking level. This is for you. This is more hands-on. We go deep dive into your business, the energetics and emotional games that we have in here. This is the reason why these one-on-ones are so different, because it's not only about strategy, it's about the energy and the emotional game that we're always playing in business. And this is something I'm very passionate about. So if this feels like it's for you, we can set up a connection call and talk about it and see if it is, and see if we're a good fit. I would absolutely love to connect with you. Next, I have my newest mastermind, my visionary mastermind. This mastermind is for 8 artists who are ready to take the journey to becoming an educator. Now, I'm so excited about this because I was trying to figure out how I really wanted to create this mastermind, but I've realized that I love teaching people how to become coaches and mentors. And if you are an artist, a creative who is ready to take their business to the next level and become an educator, turn what you know into education, into online, into passive income, I'm taking on 8 people. Whether you are a tattoo artist, an artist, a creative, a coach already, or you are, you have holistic business, whatever it might be, and you're ready to become an educator and you're ready to become a mentor, and you want to turn what you know into educational programs so you can create that passive income, this is for you. I'm taking on 8 people. This is my beta program, so it will be at a lower cost than it will be in the future. If you are interested, please go ahead and check out the show notes. But otherwise, let's get into this podcast episode. If you love this podcast episode, do not forget to love it, rate it, put a little rating down there, screenshot it, and send it off to me. I have a gift for you if you decide that you're gonna, rate my thing 5-star and all I want you to do is just screenshot it. And you can either send it to me via DM, or if you'd like to post it via your stories because you love this podcast episode so much. That's really, really helpful for us to spread the love to everybody, because the more that people rate this podcast, the more it can get out to more people that love the medicine. So, and if you do that, I would love to send you a gift, probably one of my favorite books, or even just like a care package from me with some goodies inside that I think that you would probably love. So, sending you all my love, and I hope you love this episode. Guys, welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. I have just gotten back from Costa Rica, and that was so much fun. I love disrupting the routine, really getting out of the patterns, pattern interruption when it comes to going to a new place. It really just allows you to switch on and switch off certain things, certain brain waves, neurons firing and wiring in the brain. It's definitely one of those moments where you get to just be like, wow, I get to reset and come at life in a different way. And this podcast episode is all about becoming unfuckwithable and owning that unfuckwithable energy, because I have a program coming out that's called Unfuckwithable. It actually is now open if you want in on it. I believe it's on early bird, so full send it on that. There are show notes on everything. But I want to just talk about what I really went through when it came to being in the vibe of Costa Rica and what I had just downloaded. And it really just made me realize how much me I want to be. I talk about authenticity a lot. I find it funny that I have been called on several occasions the authenticity queen. I just would never have imagined that that's the name that some people would think of me as. So I just find that really interesting and funny and awesome. But I think it's there are so many onion layers, onion level layers to ourselves, to getting to know ourselves. And it takes such bravery and courage in order to really have that radical honesty with yourself, to tell yourself the motherfucking truth, to watch yourself from an observer's perspective, to really having that wherewithal to be yup, this is my mission in life, to make sure that I am the observer of my life, of my thoughts, and be so aware I understand who I am in all different psyches that I have. We have all these voices that run around in our minds, and I'm just yeah, I love being me. It's really fucking hard sometimes because I have a lot of things that go on in my brain that just go crazy. And this is why we have, our practices and rituals like meditation, dance, ecstatic dance, breath work, all of these different things and these different modalities that kind of help us to get in the present moment. But again, this trip taught me complete and utter myself to own my shit. I own me. My partner, when we left, he was like, I'm definitely not working. I don't want to do anything that's work. I want to be totally in my book and in learning mode. I never get learning mode. I never get any rest. And I was looking at him and I was shaking my head, yeah, and I could feel myself contracting around it in my body. I was I feel this contraction in my body. And I was no, that's not for me. That is not for me. And the reason is because I don't like to see this human experience as a series of trade-offs between life and business. I want to be completely in balance at all times, to where when I go somewhere that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And that's owning my shit. And that's unfuckwithable shit. That's unfuckwithable energy, where I'm just I do whatever the fuck I want to do. I love my life and business so much that I want to be in it whenever I want to be in it. I don't need to get away from my business. I don't need to get away from my work. And that is fucking gangster. I was wow. When I realized this about myself, I have never been on a vacation or I've gone somewhere in my life where it wasn't to get away from something. It was really interesting observation of myself and really observation of the human experience of other people and how it's oh, vacation is vacation and we don't work on vacation. And I'm no. When I am so aligned, when there is alignment, there is no separation between the being and the doing. The practitioner and the practice emerge, and there is no distinction. When you go so deep in the doing, you are being. And when you are so deep into your being, you cannot help but do. This is flow. And that's what I want. at all times. This is balance. That is unfuckwithable. And so, because most of us correlate the doing with doing things that we don't want to do, which is sometimes we have like this war with the doing. And I'm like, yeah, we use this is like, again, like I said, like we use our practices and our rituals, like meditation to calm our nerves, and without addressing what's actually making us stress in the first place. So it's like just putting a Band-Aid on, oh, here, let me just put a Band-Aid on this stress. I don't actually know what it's for, but I'm going to meditate to get out of the stress. And don't get me wrong. Like, I've definitely done this before where I'm like, my rituals will help me. But when there's no intention, when there's lacking of intention or depth of intention, really, because we can have the intention that we have a ritual in order to alleviate stress. But if I don't know where the stress is coming from, I'm only alleviating it for a moment. I'm not completely healing it. And that's the part where we get really radically honest with ourselves. And that's where we can do some beautiful healing work that really creates that safety, because that's what unfuckwithable energy is. It's about creating safety within yourself to own who you are and all of your humanness and all of the things that you think are negative and positive, which there's no such thing in the fifth dimension. But at the same time, in this human three-dimensional world, we are taught that there are right and wrongs. And so when we're thinking it from a third-dimensional plane, the material plane, yes, we're going to think of things as right and wrongs. And so we accept it all. And when we can accept that shit, we can alchemize that shit, we process it, and it turns into dripping wet, juicy, oozy, orgasmic gold. And when we can operate from that space, that's when the doing and the being are intertwined. There's no separation. So stress is what cuts off the flow. Stress is just, the undercurrent of the basis of the foundational feeling, which is fear. Anything that is energy depleting, it takes from the energy field, takes from your energy field that surrounds you. It's based off of fear, lack, stress, doubt, jealousy, not enoughness, unworthiness. These are all fear based feelings. Okay, so we drop it all the way down to fear. So if we are having fear, we're having fear, that fear cuts off flow. Of course, fear is going to cut off flow, because if I'm not fully aligned with myself, with who I am, with everything that's going on, and with my truth, then it's going to cut off my flow. Okay, so I do want to say, when it comes to like the doing and the being, there is a difference between stress and healthy pressure. Okay, so because like for me, like, yes, we're going to, people like stress, and stress really is about how you react, where healthy pressure is how you respond. And there is a difference. We are all going to be faced with things we may not love doing. But when we react, we fall out of presence. That's stress. When we fall out of present, we allow our past to create expectations of the future. And so I'm really utilizing my past to dictate what's going to happen next. So I'm not in creation mode, actually. I'm out of flow, because when I'm in flow, that's where I can create. But I cut off creation. I cut off my channel when I decide that I'm going to be stressed out about something. And so that's not what we want. And when we respond, we pause. We see the reaction. Let's say we did react out of stress and we're like, oh shit, but we pause and we take that reaction and we pause, and that's the response. And that's when we, instead of healthy pressure, is like, ooh, I see the bigger picture, the ultimate vision, the mission, the movement, as we connect to our future self, knowing that these challenges and obstacles transmuted turn into dripping gold leadership. Knowing that we are on the cusp of a new level, of our next level, of our new evolution. That's a response. And that's limitless potential. That's unfuckwithable energy, baby. That's what I want. That's where I want to be at all times. And move in my own way. Like, move in the direction of how it feels good to me to move in that moment. This is how I have completely sacred flow. Divine feminine, divine masculine, totally in balance with each other. And so we have that sacred pause. We connect to source. We see the vision, get things done so much faster, and the universe opens up its doors to fill that space we have just cleared out. better opportunities to bring our desires to reality faster, opening up the channels to creative flow. And that's the best thing. But see, the thing is that we all get stuck in the sauce, like where we doubt the feelings that we have. We doubt our own feelings. We doubt our contractions. Like if I would have just been like listening to my partner and him saying, yeah, I'm not going to work at all. This is holiday. I'm going to stay out of my work. If I would have just been like, I would have felt a contraction and not listened. I would have been like, oh, no, he's right. I shouldn't be working while I'm here. I should definitely just be taking it all in. And I should definitely, but the thing is that I realized to myself, I was like, but if I am a woman of my word, if I am the woman that talks about balance within her business and sustainability and ease, then doesn't that mean that I need to follow the contractions and the expansions? If the expansions are saying, no, let's do something right now, then let's do it. If there is contraction where I'm in my work, but I'm forcing, I'm stressing, then that's when I got to take a good look at that. If I doubt that, oh, no, but I just need to get this done. No, do I actually need to get this done? Can I pause? Can I have a sacred pause and really ask myself, do I have to actually get this done? Most of the time it's a no. Is this actually the 20% of the part of the doing within my business that's actually moving the needle in anything? No, then I'm pretty sure that the universe is asking me to pay attention to the present moment, which is right here, right now, what's happening in the outside world. Costa Rica was fucking beautiful. I had the most amazing time. And I was able to get what I wanted to get done, and I was able to totally, fully be in relaxed mode. But I was present in every single moment, and that is the key. That is the key, is the presence. Presence is where potential and possibility lie. If I am stuck in my past because I'm stressed out about what's going to happen in the future, I am not present. So I am not here for miracles. Miracles only happen in the present moment. Miracles don't happen when I'm thinking about my past and letting that dictate my future. Because if I need miracles, miracles are things that's never happened to me before. But if I'm identifying with my past and creating more momentum from past experience to create my new future, I'm just going to be creating a predictable future. And I don't want a predictable future. I want an unpredictable future. An unpredictable future means miracles and magic. That is a match to miracles and magic. If I want a predictable future, I will take predictable past identifying behaviors, thoughts, feelings, which creates my personality. That's three-dimensional thinking. That's materialist thinking. Yeah, sure. If I want to stay in this three-dimensional plane and do things linearly, where I just take steps and go up slowly and have it be really hard and contracting because I'm pushing up against the material world and don't even factor in the emotional and energetic world, then yeah, of course, that's 90% of the world. And I won't be a match. And then the fluke accidents that happen in my mind that I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was going to happen, but that could never happen again. That was one miracle. It couldn't happen again. Nah. And so it's like, for me, I wanna see the contractions. I was there. I was aware. I saw the contraction and I was like, no. And I stopped and I was like, babe, I respect you. I respect what you're going to do. But that's not what I'm going to do. And you know what? I know that man finds me so much sexier because I'm just like, I say things like that. Like, I'm constantly evolving. And the thing is that by knowing myself so much, I find safety, I find security within myself. I create the security within me, which literally pours over into my business, into everything that goes on in my life, because I am safe. I am safe. My business doesn't keep me safe. My social media following doesn't keep me safe. I don't outsource my safety to anything. I am completely safe within me. I have respect for everybody and their ways and their tactics in getting things done. Absolutely. My man says that he's going to take a holiday and that feels expansive to me. I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to lead with that too. I'm in your lead, baby. Let's do that together. But if it feels contracting and I still follow his lead, that's not me following in my alignment. That's not me owning me. And that's literally me just following a crowd. And you know what's funny about that is the main source of depression and stress for most people is following what someone else wants, or what someone else says is right or wrong, or what how someone else sees success, right? So that's where people feel contraction, and they just don't listen to the contraction. They don't listen to the little part of them that says, no, this isn't right. But all of society says it's right. So I'm like, well, they all say it's right, so I'm just going to follow their lead. And that's when we get out of whack. We get out of alignment. And that's where we cut off our flow, our channel to creativity. Your business is your art. Your art is your business. Everything in your business is creative. I don't care what business you have. Tattoo artist, holistic healer, coach, doesn't matter. It's all art. You're very creative. Everybody on this planet is creating. Everybody on this planet is creating it either on purpose or by accident, but we're all doing it. I'd rather be doing it on purpose. I'd rather understand the flow, understand me so well that I know me, that I'm like, yeah, I know me. I know that I'm going to get me where I want to go. And I'm going to follow in the nudges that the universe sends me, in the ideas that download through my mind, asking intuition, my third eye, to make sure, yeah, is this right for me? Is this right for me right now? Can I take this idea and create and create momentum? If I get excited about it, I start to speak with it, right? My third chakra. I create passion by talking about it. My heart chakra, I fall in love with it. My fifth chakra, I'm moving. It's creating a willpower to move. I'm moving towards that. My sacral, it's like, how do I do this easier? How do I create sustainability? How do I stay in my joy as I'm doing my job? And then let me create community from this. Let me create that foundation. That's the root chakra. So our business is literally, and in the next podcast episode, I'm really going to get into the chakras and how the chakra system actually really correlates with our business and how we can utilize the chakra system for our business. It's like the most favorite thing I downloaded in Costa Rica. I was like, this needs a whole podcast in and of itself. And it's definitely something I will be teaching in Unfuckwithable, because I'm like, holy shit, it's like totally right there. It's there for us to take. Our energy centers are exactly our map in our business, the map to the steps that we take in our business. We can literally, each energy center offers us a new way to look at what it is that we're about to do, what step we want to take, what path we want to take, what business we want, who we want to be in that business. Your chakra system is everything. We're going to get into that in the next episode. In this episode, this was really just wanting to create this understanding that you get to choose. Like, this is a theme, and this is my mission for everybody that listens to this podcast, that owns a business, that is an entrepreneur, that you get to decide how you want to experience your business. You get to decide how you want to experience life and how they are experienced together. So when like I was saying, main source of depression and stress for most people is following what else someone else wants, what someone else says is right or wrong, or how someone looks at success. And normally this is when we cue the big distraction. We're like, we're depressed that this is, but you know what? Ego thought, narratives, limiting beliefs that keep you in the loop of emotional suffering, lowering your vibration and keeping you from ascending to a higher level. And see, that's like, I'm going to listen to the contractions, not just the expansions. Like, the expansions are the exciting stuff. We're like, yeah, this excites me. I want to listen to that. And yes, sometimes when we expand, that does take a level of leadership to walk with your fear. Absolutely. And walking with your fear is a game we all have to play. It's a game that if we actually want quantum leaps of evolution, expansion, we need to learn how to walk with our fears, but we also have to understand the contractions as well. When something doesn't feel right and we do it anyway, and then we distract ourselves through numbing, through continuous emotional suffering. But I will admit, the big distraction serves as a beautiful purpose. It's like the moments we get jealous, the moments we're like, I can't do that. It's not for me. No, he's right. I shouldn't be working on holiday. I should be doing what he's doing. Most people would have said, no, you're right. and not listen to the contraction. This is the subtleties that the universe is trying to show you because they serve a purpose. It's ultimately, whenever you feel contraction, it's corrective action from the universe. The universe is trying to correct you on your path. It's helping you get back on track. The distraction is for your growth, and it's meant to be overcome. And they will be small. Like my small contraction was like, oh yeah, maybe I should question that. But maybe I don't. And then I do another thing, and then like it feels off again, and I'm like, no, you know what? I'm just going to go grab another drink. And then I do something, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until I get like a full-blown punch to the face by the universe to set me straight. You know, that's karma for us. Like, that's what karma is doing. That's the whole point of karma and kriya. You know, so kriya is flow. You know, the word means flow, and karma is just action. It's like, you know, it's just corrective. It's just action. It's just movement. And so if I'm in flow, I'm always going to be on the right path. It's just going to be easy. I'm like flowing. It's easy, whatever. And then I maybe like get distracted. I cue the big distraction, and then karma's going to happen. I'm going to get knocked back into like corrective action. That's the universe just trying to correct my path. It's like, hey, you know what? You know, you kind of veered off. Let's correct your path. We're always going to be in between. But if I can listen to the little nudges, and maybe my the corrective action that spirit is asking me to go on won't have to be so hard, right? Because I'm listening. I've decided that I already know the path. I own the wisdom within me, the source within me, life force within me that already knows where I'm supposed to go. And I trust in that so much more than I have ever trusted it before. And I will continue to build that trust. Because, whoa, you know, it really hit me on this trip when I was like, I have been taught my whole life to believe that vacations were meant to not work at all. But how about I want to do life and business in a different way? How about I want to change the paradigm? And I don't want to live an old paradigm where there's a series of trade-offs between my life and business. How can I have a business and life that is so easeful and intertwined that it's just the being and the doing, there's no separation? That's my goal. That's what success looks like to me. So if I'm traveling and doing whatever I want, it feels in flow. And I don't feel like when I get back from vacation, I've got so much to do because I didn't do anything. Or I got to hop back in. Like, I walked into my house with zero anxiety. And that, honestly, with just between you and me, that's really rare for me. I looked at my job as a sense of worthiness. I looked at my job, and if you guys have been following me for a long time, you know from earlier podcast episodes, like, my whole life was based off of outsourcing my worth. And in money, in my job, and in social media, and all of these things. And so, and a big reason why I've started teaching business was because I never want to see another human being outsource their worth to something outside of them, to their job, to social media, to all of the things that make us want to feel worthy, money, everything. And so but I still want to be a spiritual entrepreneur who's super wealthy. Like, that's also a thing for me. And that also felt expansive, but it also felt scary because of the fact that there's so many people that said you can't be spiritual and wealthy, and that you can't lead a heart-led business and have analytics. Like, you can't look at the numbers and lead heart-led. And I'm like, wait a minute, I could have it all. And I want to do business the way I fucking want to do it. And I love and respect the way you do it, but it's not my way. And that's unfuckwithable. It's saying, I see you, I hear you, I respect you, but that's not my way. And that's okay. That's unfuckwithable. That's me not shying away from everybody or getting mad at people trying to tell me what to do. I'm like, no, dude, it's all good. It's all welcome. All of your shit is welcome. It just bounces off of me, off my love bubble that protects me, called my boundaries, because my boundary is all me. I trust me. I trust the universe. I collaborate with the universe. This is me co-collaborating with the universe, creating everything in this three-dimensional world. Okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is how we do this. There are 3 different planes that we play on. Okay, we play 3 games in life and business simultaneously that facilitate breakthroughs and open up our channels to creative flow. Okay, we have the emotional game, right? The inner game, your identity, the personality. You have your energetic game, the quantum game. This is influenced by your identity. Okay, the quantum game it's influenced by your emotional game, by your emotions, right? It's influenced by your personality. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality will create your personal reality. Energy flows where attention goes, right? So my emotional game is going to influence my energetic game, right? Because the feelings I have, the thoughts that I create, the behaviors I do, the actions I take are all going to either take from my energy field or they are going to give to my energy field. And then we have the strategic game, the material game. The strategy is the what and the why and the where. Where am I going? Why am I doing it? What am I doing? Right? The tactics are just the how. Nobody failed at life through just not listening to tactics, okay? I think I said this in my last episode. It's like long-term strategy versus short-term tactics. People don't fail because they lack tactics. Everybody's got tactics. Everybody's going to tell you what to do. My man's tactics was to do nothing but read. And he did that. He honored that. And he needed that. He wanted that. That felt good. That felt expansive for him. That, however, did not feel expansive for me. That is not a tactic I utilized this particular time. Do I have that tactic in my back pocket? For sure. Because maybe one day it'll work for me. Maybe one day I will need that. Maybe one trip is going to need it that way, right? So this is what I'm talking about. They're all just tactics. But my why is I have a bigger picture. My long-term game, my long-term legacy lands in sustainable, easeful, successful business. Unique success to me. Sustainable and ease. That's what I want. That's my business. That's my why. My what am I creating? Well, it just depends. Depends on the moment. What am I creating? Am I creating a piece of content? Am I creating a new program? Am I creating a tattoo design or whatever? Like that's the what. That's the what I'm creating. But my why is huge. And the where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going, well, I'm going to where my why is. So if my why is for ease, I'm going to follow the contractions and the expansion. That's where I'm going. And that is going to be determined within me alone. Nobody can tell me what's contracting or expansive for me. I can take a guess, and this is where tribes are so amazing, community is so amazing, because you're going to find like-minded people that feel similarly to you and want to expand with you and expand you in general. Okay, so these are the 3 games that we are playing on 3-dimensional playing fields, on 3 different dimensions. These are the playing fields that we're playing on. We're playing on the 3rd dimension, the material plane, the program, the matrix. This is based on the duality of right and wrong, should and shouldn't, individualism, survival of the fittest. This is comparison, seeing ourselves as separate from the things that we desire. Victim consciousness. Why is this happening to me? This is the 3rd dimension, okay? This is where we've given our power away to something outside of us because we don't believe that there's an emotional or an energetic game. We just think it's all tactic. This is patriarchal. This is old paradigm business, right? Then we have the 4th dimension. This is the bridge to higher consciousness to the program. This bridges the gap between the program and higher consciousness, 3rd and 5th dimension. Okay, 4th dimension is where we become aware, where we do the shadow work. This is where we understand the triggers that can bring us down to the material plane, but instead we stay in the 4th dimension to heal and alchemize. How is this happening for me vibes, right? This is 4th dimension vibes. How is this happening for me? Not why is this happening to me? It's how is this happening for me? That's our thinking. Most of us are here that are on this, in this podcast, people that follow me, we're here. We're here. We're touching. We're here. We fall into the 3rd dimension. We definitely are seeking out the 5th dimension, which is where we all want to go. Universal wisdom, full connection to spirit and source energy, full creativity, pure joy, no separation from the things that I want, because I know that everything is fucking energy, and that everything that exudes energy, I call in faster to me when I vibrate on the same frequency. If my signature frequency is just high, it's always going to be flowing. Like, bro, no, there's no coincidences. It's all synchronicities. That's how we full control of our thoughts, emotions, and energy. Doing this for more than just me energy. This is we fucking energy, one consciousness energy. We move mountains together. You thrive, we thrive vibes. Like, doing it for the collective. This is on another level playing field. This is my shit. This is where I live. I live here. I'd like to hope to say anywhere from like 30% of the time, every single day. And I love that. And it'll fluctuate from day to day for sure. Sometimes I get caught up in the material world, especially when I've got a shop opening up and, you know, I've got a program I'm running. I'm launching a thing. I'm about to travel to Belgium. Like, we'll get caught up in there. But when we can get aware, we get out of the program, we pattern interrupt, we come back. This is unfuckwithable. Fifth dimensional thinking, fifth dimensional being, which we all are when we can connect to that. But the only way we can connect to that, right, is through the bridge, is through the fourth dimension. It's through getting to the shadow work. It's understanding the triggers. Shadow work is unfuckwithable work. That's what I say. I'm like, shadow work, you can do the shadow work. That's unfuckwithable. That's the kind of work that makes you so you have like, it's not armor in the way that you need to protect yourself. It's armor in the love way. It's like the kind of armor where like, I don't need to protect myself from people. I'm not going to unfollow all these people that trigger me. I'm not going to say that my jealousy is wrong or bad, you know, and I'm not going to make right or wrongs around it. But my armor is so strong that I am, just because I'm so aware, because I disidentify with the patterns inside of me. That's fifth dimensional. I just disidentify with what's going on, and I look at it in a very curious way. And when we become curious, that's when we open ourselves up to fifth dimensional thinking, to limitless possibilities, to limitless potentiality, to infinite potentials. That's what you are. Fully creator consciousness. How is this happening through me? That's the question in fifth dimension. How is this happening through me? Because, right, when we allow things to move through us, we move through it faster. I was just talking about this with my Inspired Academy group about tattooing. It's like, you know, we help people instead of them trying to escape the pain. You know, as a spiritual tattoo artist, I'm like, no, I want to help them move through the pain. Because most of my clients are the kind of clients that have already moved through emotional pain, that have already had transformation so big that they're led to get a tattoo to commemorate that that self-expression, to commemorate that moment of transformation for them. And we help them move through the pain, because we try to avoid the pain. It only gets worse. It only sucks more. Their immune system goes down because they're depleting. They're like, oh my God, I got to hide away from this pain. So what are they doing? They're sucking from their own energy field, and their energy depletes. Have you ever seen someone when they start saying like, ow, 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 ow? Like, of course, it's going to start hurting. They're giving up in their mind. Their bodies begins to believe that, because their thoughts create the reality. So their body's like, okay, well, I'm giving up too now. And then it's painful. They might have a good heal. They might not. This is where we really have to understand that this is, you know, tattooing is really a metaphor for our healing journey. It's for our spiritual awakening. All of our jobs are. Social media is a metaphor for our spiritual awakening. Social media is the best big distraction. It is the best distraction because it is the fastest way to get through the mess, the limiting beliefs, the shadows that have all been filtering through you since infancy. And so social media just gives you that straight up hit. But if my algorithm only shows me puppies and only dopamine hits and doesn't, and then anytime it triggers me, I say unfollow to that person, I'm never going to grow the exponential way that I want. And if I want exponential growth, then I got to put my big girl panties on. And I got to face the things that, maybe are really fucking uncomfortable. And when I can face the uncomfortable, I become unfuckwithable. So this is where our emotions can truly block the pipeline to our creative flow because we revert back to past selves. In order to be in full connection to universal wisdom, to the flow of our creativity, to spirit, our energy needs to be on the frequency that matches that vision. The intention in our hearts creates a vision of the mind, and we connect to that vision with an emotion through a feeling, right? But if that emotion is blocking our pipeline, if I can't get over the fact that I'm scared, I'm afraid I won't make it, I don't see anybody else doing it, so I don't even know if it's real. I have a different circumstance than everybody else. All those people did it, but I can't do that. My circumstance is too unique. I love that. That one's my favorite, and I absolutely adore my inner circle clients and my one-on-one clients, where my inner circle artists, my one-on-one artists, where they'll be like, well, my situation is just so unique, like I just can't do that. And I'm like, and it's not up to me to tell them that it could or could not be. That's what they believe. But unfortunately, that's victim 3-dimensional living. They are in their victim consciousness. They're like, well, my situation's just so unique that I can't get out of it. So they've just given their power away. They're back on the 3-dimensional. They're in the matrix. They're in the matrix and they're stuck there. But until they can get aware that, even if they just said, well, maybe not, and they get curious, let's build the bridge. That's when we build the bridge. When we get curious, we begin to build the bridge. And we decide that I want to enter the 5th dimension, but I need to build the bridge, I need to build the 4th dimensional bridge. And in order to do that, I need to go through my limiting fucking beliefs. Right? So, see, and this is what happens when we stay on like this 3-dimensional plane, is that we act from a dysregulated nervous system. We act from stress. We react, which the emotions, stress, fear, and anxiety take from our energy field, lowering our vibration, continue on a pattern based on our past, literally creating a future based on our past. It's like saying, I'm going to take everything I've done in my past and create my future, because I'm literally just going to take my past and put it, boom, right in front of that past and put it into my future. Because I don't even want to be here in the present moment, because I want to operate from my past self. My personality are a series of feelings, emotions, thoughts, actions, and behaviors. That creates your personality. That creates your identity. Those are the things that create your identity. If those things do not belong in your future, that you need to change. And that takes walking with fear. Because it's scary having an identity death. Having an ego death hurts. It's painful. It's painful for the ego. It's painful for the body, because it's like, oh my gosh, you're letting something go. And I have this whole space in my body that I would need to fill. And you know what happens when you let that shit go? The universe fills it with all the good shit. The universe wants to fill it with all of the good shit that you deserve and desire, because you are so deserving. You're deserving just by breathing. Okay? It's not that things didn't go to plan, or that you had a low income month, or a stranger said something mean to you on Instagram, or that a client canceled, or that you're having a bad day, or that you accidentally reverted back to an old pattern, or that you accidentally reacted instead of responded. Like, none of this, it's not the problem. It's often we just don't know how to lead ourselves through these inevitable things, these ups and downs that life and business offers. But knowing how to lead yourself, that is unfuckwithable. That is why the commitment to opening up your creative challenge isn't about a destination. There isn't a destination. There isn't one. It's the journey. It's commitment to your mastery over commitment to the outcome. Commitment to your resiliency, your courage, and your bravery. And when you're committed to mastery, to mastering, leading yourself through the inevitable craziness that life and business will always offer, then the pathway will appear. unfuckwithable energy, bro. That is like on another level of unfuckwithable, because you trusted, you surrendered that trust to the universe. You realized you are co-collaborating, that you are a fifth dimensional being living in a three-dimensional plane in a human suit, and you get to play in all dimensions. You don't have to just play in the material one. Fuck the material one. Material one is so fun and great, and I love it. I love the appearance. I love that I get to color my hair and tattoo my body and feel fully self-expressed in this human experience. But I want a human experience. I want to feel the full range of my emotions and also know that I'm fucking limitless and that I could do anything. And that I can actually create it. I believe in that. People always ask me, how do you know it's going to work out? I was like, I just do. Why? Because it always does. And it probably isn't going to be in the way that I think it's going to be. That's the best part, is that I know that the universe knows better and what's way cooler for me than I do. I know that. I just know that the pathway that I'm going on, I only know what I've experienced. So I'm like, okay, well, my vision, I want to make it really hairy, scary. I want to make $1 million this year. I said to myself, I'm going to make $1 million this year. Even though I am not on the pathway to making $1 million. I was more on the pathway last year because I had so many other things going on, like a full-blown shop and all this other stuff. But now this year, I'm like, well, I don't have all of that. But I still want to believe it. I say I'm open. I'm just open to whatever happens. I'm open. I'm going to create the pathways. I know that I can reverse engineer and know that I can make $1 million. And this, and this way, or this, and this way, or whatever way the universe wants to offer it to me. Excuse me, I'm open to it. And I know that the possibilities will just land in my lap. Like, I have people asking me to do seminars for corporate companies now. I'm a tattoo artist who's also a business coach, who's a spiritual business coach, and thrives on transformational healing. Like, I'm a transformational coach. Like, I do business, I do transformation, self-love, all this stuff. Like, I love it all. I believe in all of it is for your business. And so when I get asked to do these random corporate company things because they're just like, yeah, no, you're amazing, you're a motivational speaker. And I'm like, I guess, yes, I am. I never thought about that, but yes, I am. And so it's like, it's so interesting that companies are asking me how much? I'm like, $5,000 a day? Just throwing a number out there. Okay. Oh, fuck. Like, it's like, this is where I just get to have fun and trust and just believe that if it doesn't happen, oh well. Like, that's the part that doesn't get to me, is that, like, it used to get to me so much. I'm like, well, I have to show that I did it in order for everybody to believe me that it worked. And I'm like, well, actually, what if I just believe it already did work, even if it doesn't get to that milestone, knowing that it's already on its way and that's probably going to show up better than I could ever imagine, no matter what, and probably bigger than I imagined if I just let go of trying to control it all. That's unfuckwithable, because that's a level of faith that most people can't hold for themselves because they're too afraid to lose the semblance of control, which we don't have any, by the way. We just think we do. We think that by continuously looking at our past as a way to dictate our future is going to help us with some semblance of control. It doesn't. It just kind of keeps us in a broken record, playing the same song over and over and over again, playing the same episode of Friends over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure my soul is just going to fall asleep. I don't want that. I want aliveness. I want to go. I just want to feel expansive and contracted all the time. Because when I'm contracting, I know I'm growing. And when I'm feeling expansive, I know I'm aligned. Both vice versa and intertwined. So really, at the end of the day, when we're playing games, when we're playing these 3 games, the material game, the 3, we're playing 3 games on 3 playing fields. We have the emotional game, the energetic game, and the strategic game, and we're playing on 3 different playing fields, the 3-dimensional, 4th dimension, and 5th dimension. Depending on what dimension we're playing in, these 3 games will be played on. And so it's really, if I want a really good strategy, if I want a strategic game that's dope, it's going to depend on my leadership. Really amazing and great leaders are those who can hold a vision for a future that does not exist yet. They are the ones who desire growth, seeing it with our minds, feeling it in our bodies, and reverse engineering from there. Right? What this means is that you are not choosing a path that will make you happy. You are choosing a path that will guide you toward fulfillment. Because the goal isn't happiness. If you listen to my last podcast, just the one right before this, the goal is purpose. The strategy to fulfillment and purpose is growth. To seek adversity. To seek hard and crunchiness. Life is the commitment to mastering the emotional and energetic game. Because the energy will inform the strategy. So when you pick something that's like a lifelong game, a lifelong path, that's about something way bigger than yourself, and so for yourself at the same time, that doesn't just get easy at some point and you keep pushing up against your edges and you learn how to lead yourself through the inevitables in life and business, and your flow will just continue as long as you decide that courage is the value in your business, right? To grow, we must push against an edge. We get to the edge of the discomfort. Okay, so that is my rant for today. This is how you become unfuckwithable. I hope that felt so alive and so aligned for you. And if it did, please, please, please share this out. Share the medicine out with the world. This is how we grow organically. This is how we love on one another. Really, it's all about we energy. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.